trainer Ben Smith, and as promised, I'm going to show you the basic mechanics of the squat to work your butt and also just kind of how it works all the muscles of your thighs and your bum. So first of all, this is a free weight squat, so you have a lot of variations that you can do. You can do dumbbells, you can do one leg, you can do a lot of things. But I'm going to walk you through a basic barbell squat. So the very first thing, especially when you're using a barbell, that a lot of people don't really understand is you don't want it so high on your neck. A lot of people have it too high on their neck, but you also don't want it, powerlifters have it very low on their back. So you want to find a common ground right in between. So this is typically, when you're squatting with a bar, you should avoid the padding like this, because it gets in the way of where the bar should actually be. So I'll try to describe to you, because this is taped on here, but I'll try to describe to you where the bar should sit, where it will just sit naturally. There's a groove in between your rear delt and your trap where the bar will naturally sit. And if you find the right spot, there'll be no pain, and the bar will balance itself. So we'll see if we can hit that spot. So get under the bar. This real low like this is how a lot of powerlifters will have it because of leverage. But you don't want it that low. You basically, and you also don't want it this high like a lot of people do. A lot of people have it high like this. You don't want it there either. There's a spot right in between you. When you set up to do a barbell squat, you basically come up to the bar. You should be set anyways. You should be mentally set for what you're doing. You approach the bar, get your hands where they're going to be, about halfway in between the collars and where your body is. Step under the bar and roll the bar until you find a spot where there's a groove. And find that groove. And if you find that groove, let's just see if I got it. The bar will pretty much balance itself, right? So when you find that groove, it's not sitting on bone anymore. It's sitting in between muscle and it's comfortable. And again, you can pretty much, if you find the right spot, you can pretty much do a squat, a perfect squat with no hands. Okay? So that's the spot you want to find. And if you have that, everything's going to be good. So I'm way out from the squat rack now, so you guys can see a little bit more clearly. But you want to have just outside your shoulder width is a good balanced squatting position. You basically want to keep your head up so your back is in line. And every breath that you do, you want to take a nice deep breath. Get air in your lungs. Expand your chest, which is going to arch your back and keep you in a nice safe position. So every rep, I'm going to go down to the bottom and take a nice deep breath, go down and come up. So that's the cadence that you want to have. Every rep, nice deep breath. You expand your lungs, which is going to keep your back in a nice position. Go down to a full squat position. You sit back on your heels. You want to sit back on your heels. You don't want your knees coming way forward. You want to be back on your heels. And then as you're coming up, your head is up. As you're coming up, drive your hips forward. Okay, that's basic powerlifting 101 technique, but it's important to think about it from the bottom, pushing your hips forward. Otherwise, you have a tendency to do what a lot of people do. They come down, and then they go like this, and then push a lot of strain on your back. I did a lot of that too when I was younger. That's one of the reasons why I have a bad back. So, learn from my mistakes. So, nice deep breath. Push the hips forward. And as you come up, you want to squeeze your bum. So at the very bottom position, a full squat, that's where you're really going to engage the bum. That's where you're really going to work your your bottom and your hamstring, that's what really kind of pushes, starts that drive. Once you get up to, so at the very bottom here, I squeeze with my bum and my hamstrings. Once I get to about here, it starts to get mostly just quadriceps. You know, with some hamstrings and stuff, but my glutes are not working as much. So if you really want to focus more on your quadriceps, you don't have to do quite as big a motion. You can just stay out more in this range and really work your quadriceps. But if you want to really focus on your glutes and your hamstrings a little bit more, you should try to learn to do a full squat. Now, when you go down into a full squat, you really want to make sure you're under control, because you're going to put, if you start bouncing and you rush it, you're going to put a lot more strain on your knees. So it's just important to learn how to go down under control. So again, I'm going to go through the range of motion for a full range squat, and then I'm going to show you how to do a partial range squat, which you can do a little bit more weight at and work the quads more. So again, nice deep, big breath in. And then partial squat. But again, I'm not working the glutes as much. So, I'll put the bar back. One of the ways to get the flexibility so that you can do a full range squat and really work your bum is to just basically practice it. And again, this is powerlifting 101. And this is really how you learn how to do a proper deep squat. You basically just hold on to something, get into a proper shoulder width stance or whatever you're going to be for your squats. You know, this is basically a typical width of stance. And then just hold on and sit back and just practice it and get the flexibility. And then once you feel comfortable, you can let go. And then you should start to have the flexibility to be able to do full range squats. You'll have the flexibility and the confidence in your ankles and your lower back and everything else. So that's basic squatting techniques with a barbell.